I'd like to welcome everybody to the We Can Talk Basketball and Music podcast. And today's guest, we bringing my man back, Salim Bey. Since we had such an interesting conversation yesterday, we decided we bring him on back today and we go ahead and have him co-host the show with us today. Okay, so where we left off yesterday was the whole takeoff murder incident and Jay Prince and his son and everything on that level. The newest information that we got was that little Cam, Big Cam, was arrested today. I don't know how true that is. We'd have to kind of check into that. But it seems as if things are unfolding the way that we spoke on it. How do you feel about that, my brother?
I mean, I've been knew they was gonna get at the brother, man. They already, like we already said, the feds was already watching everything. So they was waiting for them to do a dummy move. So now they have a strong case now. So they just gonna start sweeping up people's of interest and just throwing the book at them. They're not even giving them a chance to, really do a lot of talking. It's best for the brother if he's in custody to go ahead and just look at the part he played and take the guilt for what he done. You know what I mean? Or
Yeah,
or it's gonna be street justice, one or the other. So it's best if he don't want to get street justice, he better turn himself in.
I'm thinking if he did turn himself in, mob ties are gonna want that to happen. And basically if he could go ahead and turn himself in and admit to doing it all himself, then that'll get them off the hook, you know?
Mm.
Um, maybe that's something that they kind of trying to work out. I don't know what the deal is, man, but I'm just not real cool with the narrative that's being painted um of, you know, it could be kept in the streets.
True.
I don't think that that's the way that we should get this. I don't think that that's the way this should be handled, man.
No,
Um,
man.
yeah, that was a public murder, and I think it should be public justice, man. That's just how. I mean, maybe I'm getting old. Maybe
Nah, you're
I ain't
right
been in the
though.
streets in so long. But I'm just like, yo, I, it should be some public justice for that. Even if it's street justice, I need to see it. I need to know what happened.
I mean, but we gotta understand that, Quavo need to learn his, you know what I'm saying? I hate it have to be to learn the hard way, but he need to change his attitude and stop all this hype gangster stuff because you see he got his own nephew killed behind him and his shenanigans.
Yeah, he could have
So
de-escalated it as well.
I hope he learned his lesson behind this shit. Like all of that, when you go to other people's cities, sometimes you just have to learn how to get off your pride and just walk away from the incident. You know, that would be the
Oh
best thing
yeah.
for me. Just walk away without words or
Yeah, I mean,
nothing.
because
That's what real G's do. Real G's, they just walk away. They don't do all that talking. A real gangster, a real G, he get in the altercation and he know he's out of circumference. If you're wise, you just peep the scenario, peep the scene, and just turn around and give a motion to his crew. Let's rock. You know what I'm saying? Knowing all that other extra stuff, all that wasn't necessary because his lip service is really what set off the situation worse than already it was. I understand, you know, the man brung you here, whatever, but so in point in time, you have to watch what you say because little words set things up. It's like a trigger, trigger words.
yep,
Trigger words start a whole bunch of things.
a whole bunch of things. And my thing is this. Okay, so if you're once again, if I'm brought to a town or a city and I'm under the protection of my friend who
Yeah.
invited me there, I'm kind of at ease. I'm kind of laid back. I'm not expecting to be in a confrontation with anybody, let alone the people who invited me there. So at that point, I understand where Quavo was upset, but he could have practiced some de-escalation tactics on that and kind of just ignored him, maybe walked away. But what if the fix was in already though? What if the fix was already in? What if it was like, hey, the fix is in. Those niggas get in the building, nigga, they ours. They chop liver. Because there is wolves out there. There are wolves
Yeah,
out
but
there.
then, yeah, but then, you know what I mean? See, they are wolves. However, A real wolf has strategy. A real wolf don't just attack. He sit for a while and watch you. A real wolves is like, like for me, I'm from the UK. Wolves be in the mountains. We used to go out and go hunting. The wolves just don't attack us. They sit there and watch their prey. They try to see what you're gonna do next, how you conduct yourself. Based on your energy, that's how they strike. You know what I'm saying? So I really wouldn't say they wolves because that's not a wolf maneuver. That's more like a snake maneuver. A snake bites you any given moment. You know what I mean? A snake, you get too close to the
Call,
motherfucker, he
call
jump
them,
and pop you. You know what I mean?
call them what you may. But
Hmm.
what I'm saying is call them what you may. There are people out there who want to do you harm, who want to cause
Okay.
you harm. Some for monetary reasons. So what if the fix was already in on those brothers? Like, what
Hmm.
if it was set up to where, yo, man, as soon as they get here, man, they're gonna hang with Jazz for a little while, but when they get here to this bowling alley, nigga, they're not leaving up out of here without coming up off of something. I'm gonna break them on the table, and we break them after the table too. I don't know, I know when I was younger and I was into a lot of bull crap in the hood stuff and all of that, bro. That was a conversation that was had a lot of times
Yes, true.
with a lot of different people. Yo, we're gonna break these motherfuckers. Yo, they ain't leaving here. When they get here, it's on. Whatever the case, but the fix was already in.
Yeah, but
That's
if the
how I
fix
feel.
was already in, yes. But if the fix is already in, I'm gonna show you strategy. It's a crowd of people. You can blend in the crowd and get away real easy, my G. You could blend in with all them people. There was a bunch of people in there. You could blend in real easy and ease yourself off away from them, man. Real easy, real
In
cunning.
today's time, with cameras everywhere, I don't know. With cameras
No,
everywhere,
but
in
see, they
today's time, in our day, yeah. But now, man, everybody's a photographer. Everybody's a newscaster. Everybody's got their camera out doing selfies.
hey, well, you have to do this then. If you know it's getting ready to go down, you better peep some exit route. And just when you need to go get on your phone and have somebody set up a car to come pick you up. You better have them pull up by the exit door as soon. You know what I'm saying? If there's an exit door out, you better peep game. And when the shit escalate and they try to set you up, hit that door and hop in the car and skid off and don't turn back. That's what
Yeah,
rappers do when
because
they
I
come
mean,
here and do shows. They skid off.
so yeah, that's a whole mess. A whole mess, man, in itself, bro. We're gonna keep our eyes on that
Yeah.
investigation and see how things unfold. I'm still waiting on Jay Prince to put out a real statement and also turn that damn boy in. Um, all right, so moving on. Next topic, man, is Charleston White. We've been watching Charleston White blow up here over the last. I've seen the brother for a couple of years here now, but I know over the last several months he's really picked up steam, and he's picked up steam on different subjects. Right now, the last thing was basically him and T.I.'s son and Bootsy's son. Um, and they kind of had their conflict, which brought T.I. and Bootsy into the fold because it's an old guy getting at your kids. How do you feel about that situation, man? Do you feel like if your child is out doing something he has no business and he gets reprimanded by an older person, do you feel like you need to attack this older person for reprimanding your child, or should you commend this older person for helping you reprimand your child?
I feel like I will commend this person for helping me with this younger child to keep him in line. I will commend that. You know what I mean? Because it takes a village to raise a child.
Right.
So so I would say like, yeah, brother. You know what I'm saying? Then I would get at my son like, yo, keep your mouth closed. What are you talking about? What is all of this? Keep your mouth shut. When you go out in public, you represent yourself and be respectable. You know what I mean? Stop beating off your lips like you're about that and you're not about that. You're a sheltered child. You ain't about that life. You're not from the streets. You're trying to mimic me. You can't do what I do. So yeah, you're right. That man need to get at you, and I would tell the man personally, thank you. You know what I'm saying? Because that man needs some guidance.
Yeah. Yeah. You don't want to end
Because
up being a
yeah,
Jay
because
Prince Jr.
yes, being statistic behind running your mouth. Luckily, what I mean, um, them young men know better. I just say that Bootsy was a little bit smart that he got his son to shut up completely. Bootsy didn't even come back and respond. That's a smart move. Bootsy just told him to
Yeah,
keep his mouth closed.
keep his mouth shut.
Yeah.
Yep, yep. That's how you do it. And I hadn't heard much from T.I.'s son lately either, so maybe that helped out. And in
Yeah,
a
because
roundabout
Bootsy
way,
said something to him. Bootsy did say
in a
something to him.
roundabout
Bootsy told
way,
him about.
I
Yeah.
mean, we don't know. We don't know. We don't know. But in a roundabout way, Charleston White helped them brothers out.
Yes,
In a
he did.
roundabout way, by reprimanding those boys, maybe he brought some attention from those fathers to those boys. Hey, maybe they needed to show them a little bit more attention. Maybe those boys was getting a little reckless, and that kind of reflects on what's going on in Houston, man. I feel like it's the same thing. I feel like Jay Prince should have been got on those boys. Now they men and they really like well, I wouldn't say they out of control, but yo, they lost their top down there, bro. Like I don't this super gangster, super mobster shit. Yo, when does that shit stop?
Now they're really not. I don't even consider. I can't even get them a monster. They're more like hoodlums. That's what they really are. They're hoodlums. They, what I mean, hoodlums different. Hoodlums, they do whatever, man. What I'm saying? They just pop off at any given moment. They ain't got no discipline. They just do shit. You know what I mean? So I can dig it.
But
You know what I'm saying?
I've heard Jay Prince Jr. speak.
Mhm.
Um, since we've talked, I've looked at a couple of his interviews. The brother's intelligent. He is intelligent. Um, I don't know
He
what
just
I
got a
don't know
quick
what happened,
fuse.
bro.
He just got a quick
Yeah, I don't know
fuse,
what
man. A
happened,
lot of them
bro.
got a
I,
fuses,
they,
man.
yeah, so it's like, I mean, we got to be
Anger
careful when we.
management.
That's another thing. Anger management, mental illness.
Yeah.
Um, there's an underlying factor there. And then when you're out and about, you're showing off your money. Is weed there? Is drink there? Is women there? Egos tend to get outrageous. You know what I'm saying? Your ego just tends to get outrageous. So, a lot of times these brothers are showing off in front of women. Let's
Yeah,
just
man.
keep it real.
And here's the thing: the women that they showing off for ain't really studying nothing about their eyes. You understand? They really there for to use them. They ain't really care about the money. They just showing out for women trying to impress. And these women really don't care. They like ultimate gold diggers, just want something out of it, and then once they get what they want out of them, either to be a lawsuit or some allegation made up or something crazy made up. You know what I'm saying? So it's really like you just wasting your time trying to show out because who really fucking cares? You understand? Who really cares?
Yeah.
You just want it for material. You're not want it for nothing. You just want it because you got material. And women ain't care about how intelligent you are. They don't care about, what I mean, that you know what I mean, what are you doing? They just like to be around you because you got all the ice. You flashing a couple of thousands. Um, then half of the time, the money that these jokers is flashing ain't they money. You understand? That's the other thing. It don't be their money. Because
Mm.
half the time they flash it, they turn around and got to pay the label back for the money they are splurging.
Oh, they definitely got to pay the label back. It's a
Yes.
loan. It's not just a gift.
That's what I mean. It's a
When they
loan.
get with these record labels, it's a loan. It's not a gift.
Yes.
Yep.
So it's a loan. So when you
It's not a
flash like
gift.
that, when you flash like that, my thing, if you're gonna gamble like that and you owe a record label $6 million, if you win some money, my thing I would do is pay the label back their money that they gave me the advance. All that other shit, I would be out the window with it. Because once you
Well,
pay back the label, you owe them shit.
yeah,
But whatever deal y'all got, but
that
not
those
just
kids,
me as
those
the
kids
artist.
ain't, those kids ain't thinking like that.
Yeah,
Those
but see
kids
this,
ain't thinking
but
like
see
that.
we,
They're
but see
more
we
so.
grown men. We grown men. That's like if you give me 100,000 stocks and I go and win money, I'm gonna try my best to give you all your money back. So I dare to be clear, other than the contract with the music. You understand?
Hmm.
So then
Hmm.
you're gonna say, well, I respect that young man. That man's a businessman. That man paid back every cent that we gave him. He ain't, you know what I'm saying? And you might be in that, you know what I mean? A brother be like, okay, bro, you pay me back all the money, you doing well. We can be partners. You know what I'm saying? I give you a certain percent of your masters back. You can, you know what I mean? I give you a certain percentage of your masters because you paid back the money that I gave you. So, we can be partners, and it's other things, but these guys don't care, man. They just see the money, and they don't read the contract.
Right.
Like, for instance,
Yep.
what happened with
Well,
this ain't got to do with the subject, but like with Griselda, Conway said he didn't read the contract. He got all his money, he didn't read it. Luckily, he had a brother like West Side Gun that redid the deal with him and made sure he eat. That's love. You know what I'm saying? But everybody don't do what West Side did with Griselda Records.
well, yep, yep.
When you owe
Yep,
a person, you got
yep.
to pay them.
The yeah, you have to. I like to speak general. I like to really speak general on this podcast, being that if we do dive into certain things, I would like us to definitely have the receipts to put up to show that we know exactly what the heck we're talking about with those labels and all.
Yes,
But generally
indeed.
speaking, we definitely could do that all day. So moving on to the next part of the podcast. The next question on the title was, is LeBron James? Now this is leaning into the basketball part of it. We hadn't visited that in a minute. The question is, do you believe that LeBron James, is he done? Is it over for him?
Yeah, it is
Is he
over for him
washed
to
up?
me. He washed up to me by his incident that he done and he pulled against that brother Kyrie Irving. It basically slapped his career because now he getting scrutiny and everybody is attacking him. You got Mr. Charleston White on his ass, so it's over for him. You know what I'm saying? He on his ass now. He messed up when he, you know what I'm saying, he threw his brother underneath the bridge. He would have been still okay if he wouldn't have did what he done. The brother was not telling a lie what he was putting out. He was actually telling the truth historically. But being that LeBron James and who he is, he gonna try to be, I never really liked the ball. He can play, but I'm not really a fan of him. I think he's done personally by his actions. His actions is just done his career up. He might have go coaching or
You
something.
got a lot of glitching going. You have a lot of glitching going on your phone. I don't know if it's your reception or what. Well, when I speak on, okay, so there's nothing Charleston White can say, do, or anything to ruin LeBron James. I mean, Charleston White is funny, and sometimes it's a little bit inspirational here and there, and it's cool, entertaining. But there's nothing that man gonna do to stop LeBron James, brother. I mean, the brother's a billionaire. I was really just speaking about his on court playing, not necessarily with Kyrie Irving, which, I don't believe LeBron could have stood with Kyrie Irving because Kyrie didn't stand with LeBron when he left Cleveland. B, that's one man's opinion as far as whatever the book is or the movie is that they were reading or whatever. I don't really know what that is. I hadn't really looked into it. But like I was at another interview, and I made this statement. Two men can be looking at the same object and view different things.
Indeed.
We both could be looking at the same object, and we both can see totally different things.
Indeed.
So I can't expect for LeBron to kind of like have any opinion on what Kyrie Irving's opinion is. Just respect his opinion. That's the best thing you really could do with another man's opinion. Is just respect it. I may disagree with something you say, but I have to respect it because that's your opinion.
Yes, indeed. It has to be. That's why I came at it the way I came with it, because I seen it a totally different way, angle. Everybody know LeBron can play ball or whatever, but from what I've been seeing and watching these basketball things, they have been attacking the way he moves. It's affecting his it's affecting the way he's performance on the court because the way he moves, his personality is affecting. Ego. You think you the best.
Hold tight, bro.
You
I believe something. I believe something's going on with the stream. Let's pause for 1 sec. All right, let's see what we got. Your stream was going. Your stream was pausing real bad. But you said it's the ego that they have.
yeah, just the ego, man. That be ending people's career. It don't be necessary that they can't ball. It's just the ego gets to them. Once you reach a height of greatness, it's time to pass the torch on, man. I can't take it away from LeBron. He's a great ball player. I've seen his skill, but once you get to a certain height in your career and you got that, you know what I'm saying, you got that sometimes you need to pass the ball on to the next person, the next younger generation. You don't want to overdo it. You know what I'm saying?
So I feel like with LeBron at this age, I feel like he should be surrounded with a lot of talented players, which they're trying to do. But him pulling the team himself across the finish line, I feel like those days are pretty much done. Is he still athletic? For a 40-year-old, yeah, he's still pretty athletic. I guess he's 30 something, but you know, I would consider him being 40. Basically, yeah, I think LeBron may be done after this year. I know he's done after this year.
Yeah, man.
But I think he may be done.
I just think he just need to deal with the youth, pass that skill on to the youth and teach. You know what I'm saying? Get some young men and help them and coach them and build them up the way he, you know what I mean, how he grew them. Just pass the torch before you injure your knees and shit like that.
You know, they are saying that he's looking into buying a team.
That's so good. That's what he needs to do. That's what he needs to do.
That would be pretty dope. Mm-hmm.
I see him as being an excellent coach because he knows the game. He knows what it takes to win because I didn't see him do it. You know what I mean?
Right.
I can't take his skill, but he's an unbelievable player now. I done seen him bend down and come back and walk the dog on people. You know what I'm saying? He's a hell of a player, but it's time for him to pass that torch. Because a lot of times, what happens to players, they love the skill so much until they play so much until you mess around and injure yourself, your knees go bad. Because see, that sport is not a really aerobic sport, so you can injure your knees. You know,
like a lot of times, what they say is that these people, these athletes, they've been doing this sport or whatever since they was in grade school. Then they go to high school, college, then they go pro, you know, and they do it most of their adult lives. And then when it's time to quit and give up, they don't know what the hell to do.
Yes,
you know, that's all they've been doing their whole life, you know, so they tack back into doing that when really they probably should enhance on that same sport, you know, maybe get into coaching, maybe like you were saying, you know, and teach the youth, buy a team, open a school for skills in that sport, open an agency to train agents and so forth and so on.
Yeah, like basketball summer camp, like they did. Basketball summer camp. I used to go to one when I was much younger. Basketball summer camp.
Yeah. Which they do. You know, most of the NBA players do that. It's just is there something that's going to be tangible that's going to stick around for generation to generation to generation? That's something they should possibly dive into. Would be great. What do you got coming up next? So you're on to season 2 of the Word Power podcast.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm on to season 2. Like I just dropped the one about the don't bite the hand that feeds you. Next topic is I'm gonna probably go more on about the vibrations, because we need, as a people, we need to practice about what we say out our mouth. Watch what you say. I think that's the next one. Watch what you say and watch what you speak upon. Watch what you, I mean,
Yeah.
watch what kind of spells you cast because you cast spells with your mouth. So being on
Yeah.
what you say, that's what you get. So I mean, that's the topic. What I'm gonna be dealing with is uh watch what you say, watch what you speak upon, watch other spells you're casting with your tongue because you get what you
Tomorrow
ask
is
for.
tomorrow is election day.
Hmm.
Um, we had a on the network on the Winners podcast with Fitzhugh Sergio. We had a political views day today, with some very very enlightened brothers, and it just brought to my mind that maybe we should be getting out there to get that vote out. Kind of change the frequency of our government, change the frequency of our local government. Um, for those of us who can vote, and for those of us who can't vote, maybe we should get out there and put our boots on the ground and start to change the frequency. Speak to a young person, pull a young person to the side, counsel them. Um, Head to these meetings with these aldermen and these councilmen, insert your advice. That's something I'm going to start getting into, because at some point there has to be some sort of change. And from what I'm seeing, that frequency does have to change, brother. And it starts with us.
It does. Uh, me being me, though, who I am. Oftentimes but I see I don't put my business out there. Sometimes I'll be going down to town meetings. I sit there and listen, and I have to identify myself being that the organization I am a part of. We have to identify ourselves and see how we can help the community. And I've been working with Catch the Kite with a brother named Scotty Barnes. You know what I'm saying? We're doing some stuff with the youth outreach, and we plan on getting 100 turkeys and giving them to the families out here. I'm getting to do
What
some
what I've
outreach stuff and talk to the youth while I'm doing all of this, and just try to help, man, some kind of way to get
what
encourage
I've
them
done
to.
over the years, I usually when I put shows together,
Mm,
once a year or every twice a year, I'll do a benefit show. And I've done donations as entry fees. Um, we've done clothing drives, toy drives, back to school stuff. And here recently, the benefit show for kidney disease awareness, which really didn't turn out to do much. But I would like to go ahead and get ready to start something a little bigger. You know, start
yeah,
something a little bigger. I'll reach
indeed.
out to you about what we're gonna do, but and we're gonna involve this network and our podcast, and we'll try to come up with something to give back to the community on a larger scale. From this channel to the community. So everybody out there, you guys just listen out for what we got planned out in the future, and if you can, please participate, and we're going to try to bring things back to our community.
Yeah, man, we got to, man. That's the only way. Cause that's a problem. If we
Well,
don't,
all
then
right,
who else
brother.
is going to take the community?
Then who else is going to do it? Exactly.
Yes.
Well, this is the conclusion of this episode, man. I really appreciate you coming back to join us, and appreciate us finishing up on the topics that we spoke on the previous podcast. Brother, I'll be looking forward to seeing your next episode of Word Power. And once again, everybody at We Can Talk Basketball Podcast, thank you for coming. And we'll be talking to you soon, my brother.
All right.